What's up, y'all? It's just Rhonda. Welcome to my channel. It's Monday. How's everybody's Monday? Y'all know I'm a gym rat now, so I'll be down, to the gym in the morning. And um, yeah, it was, I went yesterday, so it wasn't like my first day of the week, to get down to the gym, but it's definitely like a new part of my life. So yeah, I'm all down to the gym, being a gym rat. And then I come back here and, we have our conversations that we normally have. It's Monday. We're going to get the ball rolling. We're going to kick this thing off and just get right into the things. Um, yeah, a lot going on. A lot going on, and we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna keep it light this morning. We got a couple few celebrity things, not too much, but the BET Awards was last night. I did not watch the awards. I saw a couple of performances, and so yeah, we'll get into that. We'll get into that. But first, where are we gonna start? We're going to start where we always start. We like to get a little Black excellence, Black history, and some current events, and a little bit of celebrity conversation over here. Whew. In the beginning, not in the beginning, but it says breaking. Mamdani just got the rent guidelines board to freeze the rent for 1 and 2 year leases. Mamdani campaign on freezing and lowering the rent. He's working on more freezes and plans to lower rent to come. This marks a major victory. I think so. He in New York, so that rent is very high up there. It says historic decision. New York City Rent Guidelines Board (RGB) voted 7-1 to approve a 0% rent increase for both 1 year and 2 year leases on city's 1 million rent stabilized apartments. So, I mean, for at least 2 years, I know, child, when I moved in this house that I live in, my rent was $400 cheaper than it is now. Actually, $450 cheaper than it is now. And zero improvements have been made at this house. The owners of this house live in New York. They don't come down here. They did come down 2 years ago. And from what my neighbor told me, they hadn't been here since 2002. So this is just a property that they don't do any improvements. They just want the renters to, make updates on their homes. So I'm moving out. Good morning, Lotus Egyptian Flower. This is the last lease. We are moving. It's I don't like to move around. My intention was to move out of this house into my own home, but looks like there's gonna be another. Things have happened. I've had grandchildren. Life keep lifing, and they have to rearrange accordingly. But um, at least for 2 years in your lease in New York, they're gonna be able to freeze. And I feel like these owners get a chance. Like the owners of my home got a chance to say, due to the increase in rents. Remember, after COVID, the rent went up really high, and people trying to recoup their monies. So yeah, these people really, where I'm renting, weren't working at a loss. They were working, pretty much competitive. And I feel like when I go on and look at other rentals, they're cheaper than the one I'm in, and they have a lot of upgrades. So they're going to be sorry. I've been a good tenant. We've had some shit go down over here in terms of how they be bamboozling and trying to get their money. Um, oh, Mom Johnny is doing something else. Yeah, he came in here and he did what he said he's going to do. That's not normal for politicians. So imagine if we all had Mom Donnie. We have, he's the mayor of a huge city. I don't know who their governor is, but simply being the mayor of his city, he's doing what he said he was going to do, and it's benefiting the people. And guess what? The rich are still rich. So all that complaining they was doing about how it couldn't happen, when you have billions of dollars, come on. Do you really feel like a little bit of, something going to the people? We ain't even asking for much, but may the Lord send us all a Mamdani to run our cities. And hope that the people will get the best of what they deserve. Shout out to my man, Mom Donnie. We're gonna keep talking about him as long as he keeps doing things. This was interesting. So, you know, I see a lot of different conversations. We be over in the Housewives and the Bravo Sphere, and over on OWN and all these places where dating guidelines have been set for the people. Women are turning their backs on corporate jobs as entrepreneurship reaches historic heights. I went on a tangent. This ain't even the story that this is the story I meant to put. That's a different story. So anyway, women, it's Monday. Don't hold anything against me. I'm trying to keep up here. Women are turning their backs on corporate jobs as entrepreneurship reaches historic heights. I feel like there was no choice. Like whenever all the women got let go of their good jobs, when the DEI went away, there really wasn't no choice. What were they supposed to do? Women are increasingly betting on themselves as entrepreneurship becomes a more attractive path than the traditional 9 to 5. I think the quality of life is better, especially if your business, your entrepreneurial business is somehow affiliated with what you were already doing. You know what I'm saying? When you're like, I could take this business and just open my own, you know what I mean? And make the connections that I was doing before. If it's like not like a change of career per se, but just a pivot in, how you make your money. Um, Women are out here being wives and mothers, and I think it's definitely a benefit to be able to handle your business and not have to ask permission for vacation time and all of that. We working remote these days, so when I say we, I mean not me. My job is not a remote job, but I'm just saying, as a collective, women, according to Forbes, more women are leaving conventional employment behind in favor of business ownership, flexibility, financial independence, and long-term wealth building. The shift becomes as women continue launching companies at historic levels. Wells Fargo's 2026 Impact of Women-Owned Business report found that women own 15.7 million businesses, making up 40.6% of all U.S. firms. So we gaining on them, ladies. Forbes contributor Melissa Houston said the movement reflects a larger change in how women are approaching success and career advancement. Remember that lady said you won't get no corner office if you don't come to the office, come to the workplace. Emma, whatever her name is, well, the people said they got their own office and their own business. So thank you very much for your advice, but continue doing what you're doing over there. Women are no longer waiting for permission to advance, Houston wrote, explaining that entrepreneurship gives women the ability to create opportunities outside of corporate promotion systems. Yay for that. Supporters say owning a business can provide beyond income. For many women, entrepreneurs offer schedule control, independence, purpose, and the chance to build a generational wealth. And this is the thing. It's not like you're going to you're probably going to be working harder. Not probably, most definitely you'll be working harder to some extent. But when it's for yourself and you know that you're going to reap the benefits and not just, for a corporate giant that's, trying to milk you for everything you got under the salary that they've decided that you're worthy of. Boy, when they put you on salary, they really think they could go in on your life. Still, obstacles remain. Women-owned businesses continue to face challenges with funding, mentorship, and scaling because they haters and they trying to work hard to keep us down. But Houston noted that fewer than 2% of women-owned businesses earn more than 1 million annually. I don't know. I feel like sometimes the money, it says earn more than 1 million. So yeah, I guess it takes a lot. First of all, you don't just go into business and start earning millions. That's not how that works. You have to grow your business. So if it's worth it and at least comparable to what you're making, the opportunities are there for you to grow, depending on your hustle game. You know what I'm saying? So, good morning, High Vibe. I feel like, sometimes the trade off is worth it. You're talking about making $1 million annually. Obviously, most of us don't make $1 million annually. So There's some upside to it. I feel like your mental health is far more worth far more than sometimes a salary. Experts say access to capital, education, and resources will be key to turning the surge into lasting economic power. We have it in us, so I'm not worried about it. I mean, I feel like, can they really do it without us? I don't think so. Ladies, have you considered becoming a full-time entrepreneur? Entrepreneurship is not for everyone. We need to be clear about that. But for those women who are in positions in corporations where they're like fed up, or let go, like so many women have been, a lot of companies are outsourcing businesses anyway. So it'll be a matter of getting contracts. Kudos to women for becoming entrepreneurs. Recommended to have a fair business and start off slow before getting, yeah, like Pinky over there on Housewives. Like, it's okay, I feel like, to build slowly. Um and it's okay to invest in yourself. Like, you're gonna be stressed, but it's a different kind of stress. And I don't know. I feel like your peace of mind when you can say, "Hey, I need to go to my kids' recital," and you just schedule your shit around what you have to do, and not be having to ask permission. And if you have a hater on top of you, a lot of times men have this idea of women are just going to go get pregnant. That's why we don't want to hire women, because then they're going to have to get pregnant and then be out of work all the time because they have to take care of their families. That's their mindset. But you can do both. And depending on where you're at, a lot of people like have worked for companies for years, and are at a point where their kids are done with college, and you have this time and this independence to do it. So hopefully we see more of this in the future. This is a good thing. Ladies, it's time to get information. Shout out to Beyonce. A 27-year-old woman, Tiffany Slayton, who had been reported missing while hiking, was found alive after spending nearly 3 weeks alone in the snowy Sierra Nevada mountains. She survived injuries, avalanches, and harsh conditions by foraging for wild leeks and drinking melted snow before being rescued from a remote cabin. Child, she out here doing white people things, and then you have white people results. A 27-year-old Georgia woman, Tiffany Slayton, who had been reported missing while hiking, was found alive after spending nearly 3 weeks alone in the snowy Sierra Nevada mountains. She survived injuries, avalanches, and harsh conditions by foraging for wild leeks, drinking melted snow before being rescued. I hate when they put the entire thing in the title, child. Um, anyway, this is good news. I can't think. Avalanches, being buried underneath snow and all of that kind of stuff. Who was she with? Was she by herself? Well, some things you shouldn't be alone. You know what I mean? There should be a team of people. You know what I'm saying? You, so you can be found at least. I mean, thankfully she was found. She found her way to a cabin. Where did she grow up at? They said Nevada mountains, child. I remember seeing this episode of, I think it was Dateline, and this guy decided to go jogging out in the canyons over in Nevada and fell his ass down, and then nobody could find him. He had to cut his own arm off. Whew. You say what now? See, that's what nature's black. That's what us nature black folks predicted on our people's response if something happens to us. I mean, I feel like in certain things you should not be doing by yourself. Um, that's wild. Avalanches and stuff happen out in those mountains in the snow. She was alone. Tiffany's story is a great one. She shared her story last year, talking about going camping with her parents, helping to learn how to forage. That part is true. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we don't do enough of getting out and learning. Like, had she not been brought up, who we were talking about the Girl Scouts the other day. That's what the Girl Scouts are good for. um she was raised in Georgia. And then she got, well, I mean, Georgia has mountains, and I guess that can be snow capped depending what time of year you go. Um, we were talking about the Girl Scouts and the importance of learning how to survive in nature and that kind of thing. That part is definitely important, but I still think certain things you should not be doing by yourself because you out there, something happened, you don't know how long it's going to take before somebody's, and then all you fall under the snow in an avalanche, all of your what do you call it, Wi-Fi, any type of way to communicate with the outside. um yeah, going out alone is just not a good idea. I don't care how skilled you are, you need a team, you need about 3 people. um there was this movie not too long ago, I think it was on Netflix, where this soccer team was flying, in an airplane through Chile, somewhere up in the Chilean mountains, and it crashed and they was lost for 2 months. They was up there in that snow and they start eating each other. Oh, it was wild. But some of them survived. 2 months they was out there. At least if you in the jungle, you could find, you could find some bugs or whatever it is. You'll break down and eat it. But oh my goodness, book book about called Alive. Is that what it was? When it was called Alive, the soccer team that crashed. I'll be coming with menopausal brain. It proves cannibalism is practiced by other folks. Yeah, like I said, if I'm in the jungle, you'll break down and eat a cockroach probably if you are starving, but not your friend. I know bugs are protein. I was walking one day and I seen this man like over like in a wooded area, not like far in the woods, just off the road. Because down here you'll have these little patches of trees and woods that haven't been, ripped down and built on. But he clearly was from somewhere in the Caribbean, but he had a little bag and he was over there picking whatever wild plants. And I was like, that's what I wish I knew more of. My daughter is pretty informed on that kind of thing, just because that's her interest. But I'm like, if how are we going to survive out here if we have to? And it will be important and probably to your benefit. He probably gonna go home and put that in some type of tea, herbal, um medicine to some extent. I don't know. You said come to find out they were in a few miles from a town or village. Yeah, but they weren't like this girl. She didn't know. She did find a cabin. And just imagine being in that cold. Ooh, I don't do good in cold weather. That's why I'm down here. You can survive off ice or liquid. You don't have to eat people. That would not be. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I would have a hard time, like, if you have to kill a rabbit or something. I've eaten a rabbit before. Thank goodness I've eaten, like, wild food. But in the mountains up there, how much of that is it gonna be? Again, like if you're in the jungle, the water will be there. Some of the other deadly things, I'm just saying, you won't be, frozen, and you might get chewed up by a lot of big bugs. Ugh. Raw flesh. I don't think it was raw. They did like come up. Listen, they was inside the airplane still, and then they start dying one by one. So yeah, and then they like got 2 people to be the person, like, you don't know what you're eating or who you're eating. I don't know. It was really wild. But they were up there for 2 months. And ooh, in that cold, you walk out there, you're gonna freeze to death. What'd you say, Lotus Egyptian power? I can eat. I thought you said can. I cannot eat people. Um, yes, fishing, wildlife. Just like to where are the bears at? Because where the bears are, there's gonna be some daggone food. Just don't get too close. Anyway, we had some tragedies happen over in Venezuela. I feel like I saw several different articles. Lotus, you sent me an article about them finding a baby. Here's another one. After the devastating earthquakes in Venezuela, a family desperately searched through the rubble for their baby in an emotional moment caught on video. The father tearfully called out his child's name at the top of his lungs, and moments later, the baby crawled out alive from beneath the debris. God bless him. The miracle rescue comes as official death toll has risen to 920, with more than 3,360 people injured, over 51,000 people still reported missing. Golly. And search and rescue efforts continue. Authorities say 243 people have been rescued alive so far, but fear the death toll will continue to rise. I work with a girl from Venezuela. Um, I don't know. I didn't ask her.
Dios es grande. Joda, vamos. Joda. Ahora tú, mi amor, es grande.
Oh, the good thing is he will not remember anything about that. A Venezuelan soccer player lost his wife and children while he's in the middle of being in the World Cup. Is he currently, you know? So your boy, the Orange Cheeto in charge, when stomping his way over through Venezuela's, kidnapping their leadership, which they said was shit, but anyway, taking over, saying he running things now. So is he running things over there? What's going to happen with these people? You know what I mean? What's going to happen with these people that have gone through all this devastation? 51,000 people are still missing. Good morning to go to Africa. 51,000, that's a lot of people. And I've seen this on the internet, but I haven't seen a whole lot of talk about it. Like it's a real quick thing. We were just talking about earthquakes in Thailand, but it feels like buildings, because Thailand has all those freaking like tall, buildings. It feels like their buildings, though, just maybe because they're more modern, are more equipped, because even with the last earthquake they had, I was watching my travel guide, and they were showing like the damage to the buildings, but the buildings did not like collapse. Venezuela, it's always this, like their infrastructure seems terrible, because it's always this story whenever there's an earthquake. It's going to be a whole year or more before we know. Some of the people will never be found. So yeah, prayers out to the people. It's been, it's running on about close to a week now at this point. So, and they're still looking for people. Is Agent Orange going to send FEMA? Oh, they don't have FEMA. He ain't said nothing. He over here posting pictures of him and Barack as if. Everybody was like, what was that supposed to mean? You ain't showed us nothing except for how ugly you are. Ugh. Fat, nasty, stinking, shitting on itself. So over to the economy. A trip to the grocery store will cost the average Alabama family around $20 more after the state grocery tax returns on July 1st. Who said that? Are they doing that everywhere? Like, I know we don't pay taxes on the groceries around here. Why? Why Alabama? I guess y'all better, check the polls, child, because your people is over there doing you dirty. Hopefully it won't be happening over here. I already can't stand going through the checkout. It works my nerves how little groceries you end up with when you leave the store. Alabama shoppers are about to see their grocery bill go back up after a temporary state tax break expires. The Alabama Department of Revenue says the state grocery tax will be reinstated on July 1st, 2026, after being suspended for 2 months under Act 2026-604. Ugh, 2 months. They probably, barely even noticed it then. The suspension ran from May through June 30 and applied only to the state portion of sales tax on food. We don't have no sales tax on food. City and country groceries, county. City and county grocery taxes were not affected and remain in place. The returning tax is 2% on qualifying food items, which generally means groceries that are eligible under SNAP rules. For families spending around $1,000 a month on groceries, that adds roughly $20 back onto their monthly bill. Reporting, like I said, the way we paying for gas, them $20, it still sucks though. Y'all just $20 per person, just snatching from everywhere to pay for ridiculous stuff, statues of, Klans members. Reports on the temporary tax holiday estimated a typical family of four saved about $40 over the month suspension, which lines up with the tax returning at about $20 per month. Alabama has gradually lowered its state grocery tax in recent years, cutting from 4% 3 in 2023 and then 2 in 2025. However, the state has not fully eliminated the tax, leaving Alabama among the remaining states that still tax groceries at a statewide level. Supporters of eliminating the tax argue that food is basic necessity and that grocery taxes hit low-income families the hardest and does. Lawmakers, however, have raised concerns about the impact of removing the tax entirely because the money helped fund Alabama's Education Trust Fund. Well, I mean, on that note, if you can show me where something positive is coming out of them $20, then it's balancing itself out. For now, the short-term relief is ending. Starting July 1st, Alabama families will once again pay the state 2% grocery tax on top of any local sales taxes charged where they live. I feel like they definitely need a breakdown of where the tax money go to. Where is it going? All I can say is the elections have consequences. Yeah. And I feel like the poor whites, I mean, are they not seeing that they're affected as well? I don't understand. Like that racism runs deep. Y'all be so blinded by it and not realizing you're shooting your own self in the foot. Most of y'all are uneducated, and I'm not, I'm talking about, the hillbilly sector. Y'all be uneducated, health bad, down in the same places where the data centers are going. Y'all are all dealing with the same stuff. So, I mean, racism is wild. I'll never understand it. I'll never understand why I give a shit what somebody's doing and what color they are. And, shit don't matter. Can we just all be people? 8 states have now banned or temporarily blocked the sale of lab-grown meat. Ugh. I think they all need to block it. What in the hell? The food has already been processed to the point where we're not even actually getting food anymore. 8 states have now banned or temporarily blocked the sale of lab-grown meat as more Republican-led states move to protect traditional agriculture and slowly roll out of cell-cultured food. Why? I mean, yeah, but the states, it's just the fact that they said the Republicans are, y'all don't want to be introduced to the lab-grown meat. Y'all figure, we can't regulate it, so let's just don't do it. The states include Florida, Texas, Alabama, Mississippi, Montana, Indiana, Nebraska, and South Dakota. That's interesting. Some of the laws are permanent bans, while others are temporary moratoriums. South Dakota became the 8th state after approving a 5-year moratorium on the sale, manufacture, and distribution of cell culture protein running from July 1st, 2026 through June 30, 2031. So you got a couple few years. Alabama didn't get they got a couple few months. Lab-grown meat, also called cultivated or cell-cultured meat, is produced by growing animal cells in a controlled environment instead of raising and slaughtering livestock. Supporters argue it could reduce animal slaughter and environmental impact, while critics say more research is needed and the product could hurt ranchers. You think? Ranchers, farmers, and traditional meat producers. Yeah, you think? I mean, but the trade off is eating not food. Texas joined the list in 2025, banning the manufacture, sale, and distribution of cell culture protein. Earlier bans or restrictions were passed in Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Montana, Indiana, and Nebraska. The issue has also sparked lawsuits. Companies in the cultivated meat industry have challenged some state bans, arguing they block legal food products that are already regulated at a federal level. Meanwhile, supporters of the ban say states have the right to regulate food sales and protect agriculture. I was wondering why those are states where cattle, I don't see cattle anymore. It's funny because when I first moved around in the area that I live in, you would drive past fields all the time with cows. Don't see it anymore. Very, very rarely. Now it's like, where are all the cows at? Like, I don't know. Um, you heard the brand Beyond Meat was lab grown, which is the reason I never purchased it. Are you vegan? Beyond Meat, that's well, it's not his brand, but I know John Solly made a lot of money off of Beyond Meat. That's I thought were for people that are vegan. So it doesn't surprise me that it's lab grown because it's Beyond Meat. But in terms of like why the red states, that's what kind of stuck out to me, why the red states are banning it, and it's because of the effect it's going to have on cattle ranchers and farmers and stuff. And I don't know that they care so much about farmers, but them cattle ranchers be having a lot of money. But like I said, I haven't seen any cows. I don't know where they put them, but there used to be a lot around here and not so much anymore. There was always like this patch of where field where you would have to hold your breath because it smelled like cow shit. But not anymore. It's gone. I mean, not that I've missed the smell of cow shit. I'm just saying, where's the meat? Where's the beef? Remember her? Where's the pork? Over here at this lady's house. We over here trying to figure out how to get, groceries. And this fool is over here harassing people with the groceries. Like she doesn't have nothing better to do in her life than to go somewhere and harass some people over some darn pork. A Florida woman. Of course it's a Florida woman because everything crazy going around here. I probably didn't see her somewhere. She sure looked like familiar. A Florida woman is facing criminal charges after authorities say she intentionally placed pork products outside a Middle Eastern grocery store. The hell is wrong with her? According to reports, 61 years old, well, she done lived a long, hard life because, that is too close to my age for her to look that dragged down or ragged out. 61-year-old is the hate in her heart. That's showing in her face. Christine Fernandez. I was just getting ready to say this lady look a Hispania. I made that up. She look a Latina. The nerve. This child. Christine Fernandez was arrested after police accused her of deliberately leaving pork products along the sidewalk outside of a Middle Eastern grocery store. Surveillance footage allegedly captured Fernandez shopping in front of the business before placing what appeared to be pork products outside the store. After reviewing the surveillance video, the investigators determined the act was intended to harass, intimidate, and cause emotional distress because the owners of the religious and ethnic background under Islamic dietary laws, Muslims are prohibited from consuming pork. What a weirdo. Store owner Heba Shafay said she was attending her nephew's graduation when an incident happened. Her husband and 11-year-old son were working at the store and called to tell her what occurred. After watching the surveillance footage, Shafay said she believed the act was intentional. Fernandez was booked into St. Lucie County Jail on Monday before being released on $750 cash bond. She's awaiting her initial court appearance. What the hell, Fernandez? You can't even say, I have learned that in the Hispanic culture, there is the black, and, I know there's Afro Latino, but the whites really like, they act like the rest of the whites. So in your life, as high as me is, we in the grocery store day to day, walking around trying to figure out what it is we gonna cook. And you buying the pork and sitting outside of a store for what? For what? Just to harass these people so they could come out and find, flies buzzing around the meat? She should be arrested just for being wasteful. Weirdo. You say I heard the brand Beyond Meat was, I'm back. I'm all the way back on the meat. The other meat. Yeah, she looked 85. She looked ran through and run down. And like I said, it's the evil in her heart that she would, at 65 freaking years old, the importance of appreciating the day. When I get up every day, I'm not 65, but when I get up, I just appreciate, the good things. You have good days, you have bad days, but I feel like it's so important to appreciate, the good part of what the Lord has given you. And you out here at the store buying some meat just specifically to throw it in front of a grocery store for what? Ooh, I'm glad she got locked up. And I hope they find her some more. She should get some time in prison for harassment. She won't. She'll go in there and I act like she can't speak the English. Yeah, she'll go in there and try to act feeble and act like she didn't know what she was doing. That's a hateful spirit.
Someone deliberately targeted their Middle Eastern grocery store, and they have surveillance video to prove it all. Our Jamilka Gibson is joining us. She got a chance to speak with the owner tonight, joining us outside the market just off of Southeast Port St. Lucie Boulevard with the story. Jamilka.
Yeah, Jim, the owner of this market tells me this was more than just a mess that needed to be cleaned up. It felt personal. Now, she and police are working to figure out who dumped pork products outside this business and why.
What I don't understand is, what was the point of this? What did I do?
That's the question Hiba Sharif has been asking herself for days. The owner of Bilad El Sham Mideast Market says someone targeted her business. Ring video from May 30th shows a woman walking in front of the store carrying what appears to be a piece of black fabric. Moments later, that same woman appears to empty the contents of a Ziploc bag along the front of the business. Police say those contents were pork-based products and believe the act was deliberate. Many people of Middle Eastern backgrounds, including Muslims, do not eat pork for religious reasons, which is why investigators believe the business may have been targeted.
You can see on the camera how she stops at the end of my window, stands there for a few seconds, and then walks back, proud of what she did.
Hiba was attending a graduation when it happened.
My son calls me and goes, "Mommy, we're being attacked." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Somebody threw rotten food from our door to our window."
The market has served the community for more than a year and welcomes customers from all backgrounds. Hiba says she has a good relationship with her customers and can't understand why someone would do this.
I was worried about my kids, because if there's somebody that's willing to do something like that, I don't know if somebody's going to do something to my kids. If I didn't speak up, that would probably make me an easy target.
Our top story tonight, a Port St. Lucie business owner is speaking.
So she slung that stuff all down the front of that darn business. It wasn't just in a bag. She just slinging pork all over the sidewalk for them to have to clean up. She's probably a MAGA, most definitely. Not a member of Marco Rubio's family. He don't know what he is, does he? Ooh, I mean, I think that's a mental illness. What the hell? You have nothing better to do with your life. You done made it to 61 years old, and that's what you want to do with your time. You don't have nothing to do. You don't have no bingo game or nothing. You could go hang out with your friends somewhere, meet for lunch. And a book club, I don't know. Go to the gym, do something with yourself. Child, you want to go purchase meat just to sling out in front of somebody's business. Speaking of under arrest, other folks got arrested this weekend. What these people in Huntsville know they gonna do is come somewhere with a mugshot. Now, this man sat up in front of us all on the season and told his wife about how she represents his family name and how she can't be out in the streets acting a fool because it's embarrassing to the family name. Well, your brother, he hit a tree and a pole and an animal, somewhere traveling, and he, ended up in the hospital and in jail. And now here you go. Now, the interesting thing is, Love and Marriage Huntsville star Marcel Scott arrested on assault and harassment charges in Alabama. What? Well, that's what you doing? It says, Love and Marriage Huntsville star Marcel Scott was arrested in Alabama over the weekend, according to jail records. Records show Scott, 46, was booked on Sunday, June 28th at approximately 7:30 a.m. Yesterday morning, this man went to jail. Where was he at? Did they come to his house? I want to know more. They probably won't share. By the time, I know they're already filming, but they probably won't share. They'll be over there, pretending, telling their tall tales. He was released later that morning at 9:58, so he wasn't there too long. The bookings list charge of third-degree simple assault, harassment, and an alias writ arrest misdemeanor. The records also reflect a $600 bond associated with the alias writ arrest charge. What does that mean? While the simple assault and harassment charge each lists a zero bond as of now, authorities have not publicly released details surrounding the alleged incident, and it remains unclear what led to the charges. Well, we need authorities to go ahead and make that public record so we know what's going on over here. This is, Scott is best known for starring alongside his wife Letitia on OWN's Love and Marriage Huntsville. The reality series follows the personal and professional lives of several entrepreneurs in Huntsville, Alabama. As with all criminal cases, the allegations against Scott have not been proven in court, and he has presumed innocence until proven guilty. From what I'm understanding, this was him, as a result of something that happened before, and changed the show to Love and Lock Up Huntsville. They show up every season with a darn mugshot, that's for sure. What the people say? The people down in the comments, just a little entertainment. I can hear him now. Tisha, we are Scots and we don't act like that. See, we are above this. That's what he told her. That's what he told her, because she was getting down there spicy arguing with Destiny in the public. Let me guess. He hit a wall, then he hit a door, then the door, then went to somebody's face. We don't know what happened. The details have not been released. Somebody agrees with you, Lotus Egyptian Flower. Change the name to Love and Lock Up Huntsville. We've got 2 suggestions here. I don't know. I guess, we will find out. And when I find out, I will share it with y'all. But I know one thing they going to do over here in Huntsville is collect some darn mugshots. Now, Tisha usually be on the internet with something to say. So what did she say, child? I have it saved. Not here though. Let me look. Let me see. I think I took a screenshot. She posted this on her story. And I was like, yeah, we knew she was going to come over here and say something stupid. Where is it at? Just because I'm looking for it now, it's going to be a problem. The teacher was over there at Walmart getting her car declined, and people said, okay, so this is what she posted. Money is a tool, not a goal. Freedom is the goal. Don't forget that. I mean, freedom is the goal, girl. Was she throwing shots at him? Is that who she was throwing shots at? Her husband? You say you stopped watching the show? When Mel took Martell back after having oh, you've been out for a long time, child. You've been and walked away. That's probably when we all should have walked away, but here we are being held hostage. Because we've been here so long. We don't know what else to do with ourselves. This, tragedy. So this is from a book that Mike Tyson wrote, but it's just, one of these things like Mike come over here, he's all zen, smoking weed and, face tattoo. And I think Robin was a beautiful woman, but she wasn't the most loved just because of her attitude was giving. I remember, and I was really young back then, but I remember them trying to paint this picture of Robin Givens and her mother just went over there, was taking advantage of Mike Tyson. Robin was really young. So was she married to a wealthy man? Yeah. Is he kind of a big lug? But I feel like he was also the heavyweight champion of the world. There was a lot of love for Mike Tyson. So anyway, Mike Tyson threw a lot of punches in the ring, but he says one of the best punches he's ever thrown was at Robin Givens. That's some dirty shit to say from, this is the heavyweight champion. You know what I'm saying? She's a little bit of lady, little bitty lady. And so what could she have done to him? It says here how Mike says it went down. Mike Tyson's marriage to Robin Givens remains one of the most controversial chapters in his life. Robin Givens has long alleged that Tyson was physically abusive during their relationship, including before the couple married in 1988. Tyson has denied her abuse allegations over the years. However, one passage from Tyson's 1989 biography, Fire and Fear, the inside story of Mike Tyson, continues to resurface whenever their relationship is discussed. I never read it, so this resurfacing is my first time hearing this. According to excerpts published by the New York Daily News, Tyson recalled an argument that allegedly took place at the Manhattan apartment of his assistant, Steve Loft. In the book, Tyson described punching Givens during the altercation and wrote that it was the best punch I've ever thrown in my entire life. That's sick. That's a sick-minded individual. The passage has been cited for years by those who believe it contradicts Tyson's public denials of abusing Givens, while others point out that Tyson has spoken about his violent behavior and personal struggles at different points in his life. Decades later, the relationship continues to spark debate about accountability, domestic violence, and whether public figures should ever be able to move beyond admissions like these. I mean, first comment says, he's a redeemed man. His past doesn't define him anymore because he doesn't live the lifestyle anymore, so he's redeemed. Is that how y'all feel? He's just redeemed. What did he do to redeem himself from this past? I don't know. I don't know if I feel that way. Okay, I absolutely don't feel that way. I want to know, like, what makes him redeemed? Is this a man? Somebody said he ain't say that. Well, I mean, they're pulling excerpts from the book. Yeah, these are mostly men in the comments. That means the hardest punch he ever took was from Robin also. So we think that Robin was over here. This comment section is a testimony to how they think, and it's unfortunate that people, celebrity, can get away with this type of thing and then be just considered redeemed. I don't know what he did to redeem himself besides come back with a blunt and some microphone, call himself a podcast, and he's the new gentler Michael. I mean, yeah. Well, he's never been Michael. He's just Mike. You said, I don't agree with the comment because we don't know how Mike lives his daily life. Right. I'm like, what do you mean he changed his life around? I'm thinking more of he denied it all these years. They, like I said, they made Robin out to be this like villain in this Mike Tyson story. He was the sweet, gentle giant that only like took people's heads off in the ring. And he married that she was over here trying to take his money. I don't know what her motives were, but I think it's not really that wild to think that Robin would be under the influence just like the rest of the world, who thought Mike was just this sweet guy that went in the ring and turned it to the beast. I don't understand how anyone would risk their life for money. You mean to go marry him? Seems risky to go to Africa. I wouldn't be walking myself down the aisle, but you could get married to someone or be in a relationship with someone and then, find out after the fact that they're violent. You know what I mean? But eyes wide open on this one. She knew. But at the time, like I said, we were all under the influence of Mike Tyson. And, he was just this beast in the ring. And he would come out and talk in that little voice and me. And you know what I mean? And just make him out to be this sweet, sensitive person who had played with pigeons down. And you know what I'm saying? The Mike Tyson story definitely made him out to be this sweet teddy bear that, might take your head off, like I said, in the ring. Two things can be true at the same time. While Robin wasn't a good character in this story either, I don't know that. I feel like I know that's what we were told. I feel like we didn't care for Robin because she kind of did have that snake air about her. But do we think? I don't know. I think it's a lot of people. Hell, look at Jay-Z and Beyonce. He's kind of like it. You know what I mean? He's not a boxer, but we know he's done his dirt. He was out there in the streets. That's another one. Like, we have a tendency to allow men in the street life to be outside living that life and then come home and be something different. Jay-Z was out there, in that street life, and then he go come home and be something different. I doubt it. But we have this fantasy of celebrity. So, if for him to say that was the best punch he ever threw in his life is just a testimony to how sick and twisted he really is. So I'm not sure, about no redemption. And now look at that picture of them back in the day. I feel like it was maybe her mother that probably was trying to manipulate the situation to some extent. I don't know. I think nothing. I don't care. Like if she was the biggest bitch on the planet. I don't want to think about her getting punched by Mike Tyson and him saying that was the best punch he ever threw. That's psycho. In Wonder Bread news, like people say, don't they say Wonder Bread news? Tom Sandoval filed a restraining order against his ex, Victoria. Who the hell is Victoria? After I stopped watching Vanderpump Rules. I left when Ariana left and went over to Love Island. After she allegedly attacked him verbally and physically after a night of drinking. Yeah, this is just, I don't have to read all that. The judge granted Sandoval a restraining order and told his ex Victoria and her dad to get out of his house. So here is what happened. He over here getting beat down allegedly by this little girl. Now he got his earbuds in, taking a picture of himself. She got a good scratch in. Did she? Because I saw a video. She was wailing on his ass. Look at that door, child. What had happened here? What had happened here? Is this the closet door, or was somebody on the other side of that door? What the heck? You said Lisa Vanderpump didn't pass down any type of training or morals. I don't know. You talking about on the at the restaurant? Take a video. Okay, so let me find this video because Tom was over here fighting with the girl and her daddy outside of his apartment. Let me find it right quick. Tom Sandoval. He got baby allegations and okay, so it says Tom Sandoval pushed the girl's daddy into the fire pit. So you can see them out here. I don't even know what they was arguing about, but he starts screaming something about, "Are you recording me? Are you recording me?" But I'm like, he got a lot of balls to me to be arguing with this girl like he was in front of her daddy. So here they go.
This idea of continuous reinvention, I think, is really important. It doesn't end.
It
right?
does not end.
Welcome to Reinvent.
Why we gotta listen to a commercial? Okay, here we go.
Was at the center of a temporary domestic violence restraining order filed yesterday by Tom Sandoval and granted. In court documents obtained by Access Hollywood, Sandoval alleges he pushed Mr. Robinson away for protection, which caused his ex, Victoria Robinson's dad, Will, to fall. In the filing, Sandoval details the verbal disagreement turned physical after Victoria allegedly was recording him without his consent.
Are you recording it right now? Are you recording it right now?
The Vanderpump Rules alum alleges the model's dad lunged at him, but Mr. Robinson disputes Sandoval's claim, telling TMZ, "I lifted Tom off of my daughter because he was overpowering and twisting her arm and trying to take her phone aggressively after yelling at us in a very aggressive and threatening manner." Sandoval alleges Victoria also punched him in the face and injured his neck. She was arrested after the incident and posted bail. NBC legal analyst Misty Maris breaks down the details of Sandoval's filing.
Looking at this video, it seems like Tom is an aggressor in this altercation. But according to his 10-page affirmation, the harassment and abuse by Victoria and her father goes far beyond that June 3rd incident.
If the courts grant a permanent restraining order, Victoria and her dad will not only have to stay away from Sandoval, but they would have to vacate the home they all three share together.
He references a whole bunch of videos that are not in the public sphere, so there could be a lot more to come in this case.
Well, we gonna see, child, but what I seen Tom Sandoval over there doing, he was over there in that girl's face in front of her dad. Why does he live with his girlfriend and her daddy? What is going on over there? So there is a video. We'll probably see more. A restraining order. She comes off so polished, but her staff is trash. Oh, you talking about Lisa Vanderpump. I don't know who this girl is, where she came from. You know, his new thing. He got over here. He cheated on Ariana with this girl, Rachel, because she couldn't decide which name she wanted to call herself. And then there was a lawsuit there somewhere, but I don't know where this Victoria girl came from. And allegedly, she might be with child. So there's more to come on that story. So one thing Lisa Vanderpump got over there is some ratings if Tom Sandoval is going to be part of the story. He is looking old. Meanwhile, while Tom is over here looking old, what is Ariana doing? Child. She's over here on Love Island. Boom, boom. I'm sure there's music.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, I ain't gonna play the music. But yeah, Ariana is over here living her best life, hosting the Love Island kids. I've been watching Love Island. I'll be talking about it a little bit later, maybe. Because, you know, I'm here in the conversation. I got some opinions. But yeah, Ariana is over here doing the damn thing while Tom Sandoval has moved into a home with his girlfriend and her father. What? Why? He not making enough money to live on his own? Ugh. Ugh. We will take on anything, won't we? We'll take on some trash and try to build it up. Robin Givens was over there getting punched in the face. Tom Sandoval is over here. I don't know what the heck happened to that door, but I know he put his hands on that girl. The dynamic to me of living with your girlfriend and her father is wild. That's not an elderly man. That man is older than me. He shoved that man all the way over that fire pit. Tom Sandoval got he got issues. The glow up looks good on her. Yeah, it does. Every time she looked back at the camera, I feel like she'd be like, "Hey, Tom, dumbass." What else we got going on? Well, what else? Oh, I know. ASAP Rocky. ASAP Rocky was over here running his mouth. Everybody was like, I mean, none of us, I think, wanted Rihanna to do this, but Rihanna gonna do what Rihanna gonna do. And we don't know that lady. We don't have no business trying to tell her, how to live her life. So ASAP Rocky fires back at critics over thong rumors, reacts to claims that he disrespected Rihanna. ASAP is clearly clearing the air after weeks of online chatter surrounding everything from his wardrobe to his relationship with Rihanna. Well, he been murder was the case that they gave him. He been in trouble since they got together. So none of this surprises me. This is why we felt that way. But like I said, Rihanna gonna do what Rihanna want to do. So there's that. While performing on his Don't Be Dumb tour, that's the name of it. Don't Be Dumb. Okay. Rocky addressed several viral headlines that have followed him in recent weeks. Speaking to the crowd, the rapper said, F the internet. First they were saying I was wearing thongs. Was he not? We have the video of it. I'm pretty sure we talked about it. He was dancing around and his panty thong came out the bottom. Now, I don't know if they came from Fenty or not. I do not care because I think these people be doing freaky stuff, wearing panties and all kinds of stuff anyway. So I don't care. Maybe he shouldn't have wore his panty thong to the show if he was going to be jumping around, or he should have wore a bigger shirt. I don't know. Maybe he should have just wore regular jaws or no jaws. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was some type of, I don't know what it was, child. Looked like a thong. Anyway, he said, then they were saying the show wasn't selling out. Nobody wasn't, his English, for God's sakes. It's amazing when you get to such a high level and we're going to sit around and have discussions and you sitting around talking about nobody wasn't coming. Then they say I'm disrespecting my wife. Yeah, slop on my knob. Dun, 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 dun. That's what he said. That's a different ASAP Ferg. Rocky's comments referred to a string of viral moments that recently made the rounds online. Earlier this month, social media users joked that the rapper appeared to be wearing what looked like a Fenty thong during a performance, sparking countless memes and debate. Days later, he also faced backlash after telling concert goers, thank God y'all ain't know me when I was single, or I would have effed the out of all of you if you were pretty. Wow. Ew. While some viewers interpret the remark as a joke about his bachelor days, others accuse him of being disrespectful towards Rihanna. She know her man, child. She know how his mouth is. So, He said if he was in his single days, y'all will take a thing and go. I remember it stood out to me. I remember when ASAP Rocky did a sit down with Angie Martinez, and he was talking about, how he was pretty much a sex addict, basically, and how he was going and going and going and going. And when he got with Rihanna, I remember thinking this man said he liked to do all the things, but we don't know what Rihanna be doing over there, child. She got a look in her eye. The Grammy-nominated rapper also pushed back against claims that his tour wasn't drawing crowds, lumping those rumors in with criticism over his outfits and comments about Rihanna. As of now, neither Rocky nor Rihanna has publicly addressed the earlier backlash beyond his latest onstage remarks, but it's clear he's tired of the internet dictating the conversation. Is his concert selling out? Because I don't know. I haven't seen it. I don't know of him having any new music. So, but I feel like his fans are probably loyal enough. Selling out, where's his venue? He ain't finna sell out like Rihanna sell out, but he's never been that. You said Rihanna's gonna let this man discredit her. I mean, she chose him. I don't have no feeling about Rihanna and ASAP Rocky because we all seen how he was moving out here in these streets as a single person. He is not ever, he was a little wild. People, I think, were maybe a little bit distracted by, his pretty face and his pretty teeth. But at the end of the day, he, I don't even want to say he's not on her level. I think he's not on the level where she should be operating. So, he definitely is her underling. I think a lot of men have a problem with that. A lot of men have a problem with that. He's Mr. Rihanna. So him talking about people, Rihanna refused to go in the studio. She won't sing a song. She's over here being a mom and a businesswoman. I don't know how much involvement she still has in Fenty, but Rihanna got a lot of money. And ASAP Rocky do not seem like her protector. He seems like he should have been like her little friend, but she done went ahead and made him her baby daddy. I don't think they've matrimonied themselves to each other. She's probably just as wild as him. She just has more decorum. Sometimes she does, and sometimes she doesn't. That's why I said I don't want to say on her level. I say on the level that we as a collective feel like she should be. But Rihanna don't sing no songs no more. And if she decided to go out tomorrow and have a concert, go on tour with all the shit that she had from before, she would sell out just because people want it. And I also feel like I love Rihanna. I love her music. I don't know how fast I would be rushing out to go see her perform because she don't. I think she can't sing for real. You know what I mean? Not that I would want to hear live. She need definitely studio help. I don't think that takes away from her as an artist, but I don't want to go see Rihanna barely move and sing badly. But this is the man she chose. She saw Angie Martinez just like we did. At least I saw it. And she seems like he might have cooties for all the sex he was having. She chose a man who was supposed to be kept in the closet, not her public. He was supposed to be her slide. He was supposed to be her little, yeah, I kicked it with ASAP Rocky in the studio, and y'all don't get to know any more than that. Ugh. Me too, high vibe. I love Rihanna over Bey. Beyonce, her music always takes convincing me to like it. It's very weird. Like, I don't ever just hear Beyonce music and be like, oh my God, I'm going to need the visual, the remix, and a whole 6 other things before I'm like, okay, I guess it's grown on me at this point. Rihanna definitely seems more like a real person. I feel like Rihanna is probably on the same level as ASAP Rocky. As much as we love her, I think she's wild just like he is. So, I think, if he's wearing a panty thong, she's okay with it. Because, they be wilding over there. Rihanna has more edge and far more interesting. She is. It just seems like if you had the opportunity to just hang out with Rihanna, she would probably be a lot of fun. And I agree. I prefer Solange too, because Solange has the same energy that Rihanna has, just like regular, real, and I also come from the school of, I don't believe that people who don't have the best voice still can't be an artist. There's enough ways to, make you sound a certain way or whatever. If you're creative, but Rihanna don't do nothing but stand there, child. We don't want to go see her do no concert. And if she ain't gonna make no music, then it is what it is. I also feel like ASAP Rocky is getting older. He's probably getting close to 40. I don't know how old he is, but his age group, there, he aging out. So he doing acting and other things. It'll be fine. I think, y'all are judging him over something he said. Maybe he should have just didn't say anything. You can't argue with the internet. You'll always lose. He's definitely on her level from intellect wise to living a ratchet lifestyle she needs to turn down for the children's sake. Well, she popping them out one after another. She probably is, though. She's probably in that phase like where she's like, oh, will you sit down somewhere? And, she's probably not thinking he's as cute as he used to be. You know how somebody is just so cute when they start getting on your nerves, all the stuff you thought was cute ain't even that cute anymore. But she's got her kids now and they're all little. Cute family, beautiful family, but I mean, are any of these niggas forever ever? Let me stop. Solange's lyrics are beautiful and she's very militant. We down to the elevator. We all seen it. We all synced it. Yeah. Y'all relax. Relax. When you choose a man like ASAP Rocky, I think it is what it is. Rihanna was in a relationship with a billionaire. I prefer she do this because I don't trust billionaires. In Badass Kids news, child, I thought this was interesting. We're going to talk about this, and I'm going to end with the red carpet from the BET Awards. But these kids was down to Target, and you know how I feel about these bad-ass kids. This little girl, where's her mama? That's what I want to know. It says Baltimore. I don't know anything about Baltimore, but I've heard. So I'm not going to be judging what, goes on in Baltimore. But I heard Baltimore is a little rough around the edges. Baltimore teens detained after being accused of trying to steal from Target. I'll get my brother to pow. Child, this is coming from the little girl. I'm going to just let her speak for herself.
Look at this. Your kids is bad.
Get my brother to shoot the shit out you, bitch. Bro, tell that lady to get that camera out. Bitch, get the fuck up. Yo, treat her bro is done. Bro, y'all got us bucket. Y'all ain't got my brother. No, bitch, get the fuck off me.
Look at this. Your kids is bad.
Now, I seen a lady that came in, she stitched it. I thought that was the one I saved, but she came in and she says something to the effect of, sometimes it's not the parents. Sometimes these kids just act that way when they're not around their parents. And she was like, I bet you if the mother was there, they wouldn't be acting like that. And I'm gonna go ahead and disagree, because these kids is way too comfortable cussing out the police and security. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if I was a child this young, first of all, I wouldn't have been talking like that, but I've been scared to death. I would have been scared shitless. I feel like they were doing exactly what they was being accused of doing. All these kids ain't out here being innocent. Baltimore is like going across the border for me. Ooh, she said that. I didn't say that. I've never been to Baltimore, but like I said, I heard about it. When we look at stories like what's going on with Carmelo Anthony, he has a new team, and we're gonna hope that he at least gets this sentence reduced. But when we see things like that going on, this scares me, because these are young girls, and right now these young girls are just as wild as the young men. But I feel like these parents, where are they? First of all, why is these kids walking around in the Target unsupervised? You said, no, if you don't talk like that, it doesn't matter. Your parents are present or not. Yeah, I feel like that's where they got it from. They got it from their mama. We've seen plenty of women out here carrying on, and their mother would come in there and act a fool and act like they were being profiled when she wasn't there. Where's she at? Because I see. Remember when we were kids and going to the mall, like you had to get ready. Like this kid is in here with her bonnet on, what looks like maybe her round the house clothes. And I'm saying, we not the little girl, but this one, the older one, she's got her hair bonnet on. Y'all, this is such a sad scene watching them like get handcuffed and carried off. And the security is black, so we can't say profiling. But the way that little girl is carrying on, she's carrying on worse than the older ones. Somebody just, I don't know. We're gonna have to do better. What are the people saying? The fact that they are out there by themselves already lets you know that what the home life is like. That's what I said. I wonder, where is your mama at? She's acting like the little girl that tried to beat up, I don't know who that is, Troy at the corner store. And these are the kids y'all want us to teach. Oh, so sad. Yeah, the comments are going in on these children. It's just sad to me. It's unfortunate because, like I said, we're living in a time we don't have time for any of this. We trying to do better for our kids. I don't know what y'all doing over there, Baltimore, but you know, the children are supposed to be the future, and that future is looking bleak. Mama over at Walmart boosting. But where my boosting bitches at? I hate that song. Spin that shit. Spin that shit. I hate that song. I hate when a song like that gets stuck. You know what I'm saying? Every time I hear it, I'm like, boosting bitches, where y'all at? I watched Saucy Santana's interview with Cam Newton. Saucy is entertaining. I didn't have it in me to listen to Young Miami because why? You said, did the little girl lunge at the cop? She was kicking and swatting. She was carrying on, child. I don't know. I would prefer to see less of this because this ain't excellent. This is just all bad. Yeah, so if you're ever out in the wilderness, we talked about the young lady earlier who you know, got lost out there in the avalanche in the cabin in the woods and in the mountains and things, and you know, she survived that. This is a G right here, because my dog, I ain't even gonna lie, I would have just had to let him figure it out. This lady is walking her dog and she runs into a bear. It says a woman had a frightening encounter with a grizzly bear as she was walking her dog at a wilderness camp in Alberta, Canada. Video shows the large grizzly circling the woman and her dog several times as she tries desperately yelling for the bear to stop. In order to get away, the woman threw her coffee mug and went. And when she saw the bear go to investigate, she ran away. Woo! First comment, why people don't play about their dog. And I just told you, I would have had to let my dog figure it out. Oh, that's terrible. But, you know, just in case you run into a bear, you know, here's a lesson on how to handle it.
Bitch! Go away! Go! Anna! No. Go away. Hey. Say. No. Ah. Hey. Ha. Ah. Hey. Hey. Stop. Enough. Hey. No. No. Hey. Hey. Stop it. Stop. Stop. Enough. No. Hey. Hey. Stop. Stop it. Go away. Go. Enough. Hey. Hey. Stop. Enough. Get. Go. Go. Stop it. Stop it.
Her dog looks like a German Shepherd, if I'm not mistaken. Um, yeah, it looks like a German Shepherd. German Shepherds are super territorial, so he was definitely about to like give that bear the best he got. Why is she recording? Maybe she got one of them recorders like on her hat. I thought the same thing. I was like, how am I gonna hold the dog and the coffee and you know, I don't know. I don't know. Grabbing my phone probably wouldn't have been my first thought. My voice don't do that. You said the noises she's making. I don't know. Seems like my throat would hurt from doing that. Um, Black bears are usually calm. That's a brown bear. That's a grizzly bear. And usually like it's the dog that the bear is coming after, but maybe there's a cub situation because a lot of times it's because there's cubs around. I just saved a story on those glasses. We're gonna talk about that later on this week. Um, yeah, she's a G because I would have Baxter would have had to like see what you could do with that, Baxter. Ooh, I'm laughing, but I ain't playing. Ooh. Did y'all watch BET Awards? I did not watch BET Awards. I saw T.I.'s performance. It was really cute having King ride him out in that car. So yes, King is a personality all on his own. And so yeah, to bring that child with you because he needs supervision. And I saw Kehlani's performance. She sounds beautiful. You said, oh, she feels so vindicated. Who are you talking about? Who feels vindicated? The lady? Listen, what would you do, High Vibe? I wouldn't call it a sacrifice. He, I got a pit bull. This is my thing about that. I have a pit bull. So if let's just say he gets entangled into the situation with a bear and he wins. Now I'm supposed to take him home and think he ain't, you know what I'm saying? Now he's like a part of the wild. You said you recorded it so you can watch it later. I'll watch it later. I'm sure they'll show it later. So let's get into some of these looks down to the red carpet. I do feel like the red carpet was a little more mature than before. You got a Shih Tzu. You can't sacrifice a Shih Tzu. A Shih Tzu needs for you to pick him up. You know what I'm saying? And y'all like growl. I don't know. Little dogs are so feisty sometimes, but yeah, if you got a Shih Tzu, it's all on you, girl. You're gonna have to go whatever that lady was doing, make them crazy noises and get your dog in the car. I feel like also, lady, why don't you have some bear mates? You're walking around in the mountains over in Canada where I know I have a friend that sent me a picture one day. It's gators over here. She got bears in her area. She sent me a picture one day and was like, there's the bear and it's sitting in front of somebody's garage. But she should have some bear mates. You should know that you probably may encounter. I don't have any, but I'm gonna get some because we have wildlife over here too. And there's Florida man. So you never know. The lady's gonna act like she's big stuff for keeping the bear. She's got a story to tell, child. She did what she had to do. Looked like her dog was with the business. He was like not backing down either. So, but like I said, her dog looks like a German Shepherd. They don't play about their owners. They're very protective. All right, let's talk about these looks right quick. I'm going to start. Let me stop sharing that. I'm going to start here. Miss Eva, what do y'all think about that with Project Runway coming up? And y'all know I do review Project Runway. I feel like it's giving almost. It was a cool idea. It fell apart at that knot. I'm not mad at the knot necessarily. I just felt like it should have been doing more. So Eva was giving her best Eva Marcel walk. She was sashaying, strolling down that red carpet doing her thing. I hate the blonde eyebrows. Her hair is all right. I don't love it. I feel like, when you go that short, if you're going to do the platinum. Eva's face bothers me. I don't know what kind of work she has had done or why. I'm so unclear on it. Eva is a perfect example of, even though women are born beautiful, they still feel like they need to go do something. Something is up with her face. Those eyebrows, terrible. Them big chiclet teeth that she went and got, ugh, I hate them. But that's what they're doing over there in Hollywood. I do love the color. To go to Africa green is my favorite color in just about every shade of green. So if it's green, I'm going to automatically have a green bias. But imagine though, you said it's not flattering. Imagine if they would have put a little more effort. I don't know who the designer is, but if there was a little more effort put into the bottom of the dress. Like I said, it's kind of interesting, but then when it gets, past the top, it just gets lazy. Like they were just like, okay, let's tie it up right here. She doesn't need a smoky eye or the blonde. And the eyebrows. Like you get a smoky eye with an eyebrow, and all I'm looking at, she looks like one of them characters, one of them monster zombie things. And I mean in the most beautiful way, not in a disgusting way. From that movie I Am Legend. That's what she reminds me of, them things, that night crawlers or whatever they came out. Sorry, Eva, it went down drain. I tried. I thought I halfway liked it, but now I'm, talking about it and I don't like it so much. Some housewives were over there. I'm sure there were more. Well, there was one more that I have a picture of. But so, okay, Portia and Shamia were over here at the BET Awards. I don't know why. Well, I mean, Shamia is a singer, but and Portia's an entertainer. So I guess I answered my own question. Shamia's dress looked like something you could get down to Neiman Marcus. There was nothing like special about that dress. And Shamia has the most money. It's so disappointing. Like she had enough money to go get whatever dress she wanted. You know what I mean? It's a red carpet. I don't care if you're a musician or not. I think it would have been cooler if she had on Eva Marcel's dress. It would have looked better on her skin, and it would have looked a little more interesting. Her hair, I don't like it. I'm not a fan of her hair. I am so tired of baby hairs and edges is swirled all over the place, and her makeup not great. It's Shamia. This has just not been your year. I don't really like saying nothing about Shamia no more because I feel like the people just batter Shamia up one side and down another. Portia and her balloons. Yeah, I feel like that's why people are so distracted by Portia. They know they stay plastic surgery up. If I had them things every time I get a headache, I would think, get it out. Something's wrong. Mr. K. Michelle should be a testimony to all of that stuff. And Portia has admitted on the show that she had an incision that didn't heal. So, what's the update on that? I don't know. I don't need anything that's like going to be an open wound. The dress is beautiful. Portia over here doing her thing, makeup flawless. The balloons are there. So once you get them, you might as well put them on display. I feel like the picture doesn't do the dress justice, but it's beautiful. Portia's doing what Portia does, and she looks great doing it. You said it isn't even creative. You talking about Shamia's dress. It just looks like something like you have an event to go to and you're going to run down to, like I said, Neiman Marcus or something and grab you a dress. So no, I've seen Shamia's not she needs a stylist. Again, Shamia has the most money. Go get the same stylist all the rest of these. You've got Jay Bolin. You've got Paris over here dressing it. Paris can't dress everybody, but I guess he can. You know what I'm saying? The more the merrier. I'm sure Paris has a team, and anyway, Shamia needs help. Shamia has to learn that just because it's got a designer label on it, don't make it great. Now she looked beautiful at the reunion last year. We go discuss that tomorrow on the reality recap, the seating and everything down to the reunion. I appreciate that to go to Africa. I will be displaying some of my stuff when I'm doing my Project Runway. I was very ambitious last season and I thought that I was going to try to do the challenges, and yeah, I'm not going to do that. But I will kind of like incorporate some of my own designs in to my review, just so you guys see what I actually do. Yeah, and my design would definitely have been more interesting than whatever Shamia got going on. I also got so disappointed. I'm looking forward to Project Runway because there's no other show like it, and I love design shows, but I'm hoping that it's more interesting this year. I don't care about the drama. Can we not with the drama and just do the talent? I'm fine with the talent. I don't need, you know what I'm saying? The stuff that we like as Project Runway fans, I feel like is not who don't like who, and I don't care about that. It's just irritating, to be honest. I'd rather hear when they have those little situations and forget their fabric. I love to see how they pivot in those types of situations, but arguing with somebody you don't like, unless it's a group thing, you know what I'm saying? I can see where people bump heads, but I don't care about that. Half of the time, like those brothers from last season, both of them were trash, so it was just terrible. So I'm hoping for better this season. How the devil they let two people show up on the red carpet with the same dress? We got Moni Love over here, and we got Candace Dillard. And Moni, God bless her, we know she just has surgery, so she doesn't even really look like herself, honestly, because she's been through a lot in these last few months. And Candace, why you put them black gloves on? If I had to say who wore it better, I'm gonna say Moni Love. Except I'm not a fan necessarily of her 1989, 1992 French roll. It just ages her a little bit, but I'm gonna give her a pass. Like I said, we know she had a rough time. And then Candace in this blonde, it's awful. Her makeup is giving drag queenish. And Candace is so pretty. Like, wipe all that stuff off. And the black gloves, girl, where was you going? And who is in charge? Like, how did they end up at this event with the same dress on? Somebody stylish should be in trouble. That shouldn't happen. One of those brothers from last season was on an episode of Real Housewives of New Jersey in their last season. Oh, was he? Well, I mean, he was in the right place. That's his fan base over there, I'm sure. Candace Gloves looks like she's back on Traders. I don't like it. And she looked fire on Traders. Like, she's so teensy, so she can do a lot. But yeah, I don't like the hair. I don't like the gloves. The dress is a pretty color, and they, if she didn't have the gloves on, then it would be a tie for me because I don't like either one of their hair. But sometimes the eyebrows is too much too. Y'all going overboard with the eyebrows. It's making them look drag queenish. The dress reflects how low effort the color isn't even flattering on either. Yeah, this is like a color for Caucasian women. I feel like the blonde girls look good in that color. And although Candace is a blonde girl, nothing else is working. Both of them chop. Both of them gotta go. The people said no. Okay. Well, y'all, the people have spoken. Tiana Taylor. She wore two dresses. I like the first dress. Somebody said it looks more Emmy kind of like, one of the bigger award shows, but I want them to start treating this like it's a big award show. Tiana should look like this every time she comes to a red carpet. She should make it a moment. Um, you don't like the headpiece? You said chop next. I'm not a fan of the blue. We can't just chop it without talking about it, Lotus Egyptian Flower. The blue dress is a no for me. I feel again like did she run over to Macy's right quick in their formal gown department? It's giving very much off the rack. Something about this wig, Tiana. It looks like it's sitting up on your head. And yeah, I agree. I don't like the headpiece, but I do like the burgundy. I like the burgundy dress. I'm gonna say just because BET is always so casual, like if we go elevate, then we need to elevate our red carpet. All these girls came with two different dresses. The blue looks like she's going to brunch. Yes, and then I wouldn't have I don't hate the dress, but I guess she just wasn't gonna be able to sit down in that other dress. So we gotta walk down the red carpet and then go change. Who were the designers this year? I don't know. I should have looked it up, but I did not. So Tiana was presented the Icon of the Year award. I guess I don't know. I wish y'all would stop. Take Icon off. You know what I'm saying? Take Icon off as the list of awards. I feel like of the year. You just don't throw that word around because it diminishes what really is an icon is. And I think I love Tiana Taylor, but she has not been in the industry long enough to be considered an icon of anything yet. So I think, if she keeps doing what she's doing, she's definitely on that trail, but she ain't there yet. I'm like, icon award. Icon based on what? I don't know, child. Tiana got to let go. Wait, what you say? Let go of that man, and she just, See, because what do I always say? A man ain't nothing but a damn distraction. Especially when they're jealous of you and trying to stand in your way. And she sat up there like a lot of women do, and big him up, and he's still, turned out to be trash. Now he over here, doing Lil Wayne skits on Facebook. You said icon based on what? I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I love Tiana. I just think that shouldn't be an award, icon of the year. Let's just take icon off because she's had a great year. She's had a great year as far as her career is concerned, and we're looking to see her, move on to whatever the future holds for her. But I guess her icon award was presented by Janet. So what do y'all think of Janet's look for the red carpet? You said it's annoying for Hollywood to act like Tiana's on this rising level of Viola Davis. She's not there yet. Nope, Octavia Spencer. I like her. I won't say I don't see it for her. I like her, but she just getting started. So, let her cook. I like this look. I don't know why she has Tupac. That's the only issue I have with it. It's a look. Only Janet could do this, though. It's the BET Awards, so I'm not going to hold anybody to any type of standard, but I do like the elevated. Like the ladies came looking beautiful this particular award season. Janet's waist is snatch, girl. 60 looking good on her. I don't know why Janet got Tupac on her shirt when she ghosted him after the film. Now, I heard Tupac's version of the story, and I heard Janet kind of downplay it. Tupac wasn't really feeling his experience. You could find the interview somewhere of him talking about it, and I remember him saying he was excited, to get to work with her, but she played him pretty much. And so I don't know, I believe Tupac also. She's a Jackson, and they pretend a lot. They live in this fantasy world, the Jacksons do. But her look, aside from that, it's giving very much Janet Jackson, Miss Jackson. If you nasty, she looks great, But I said this is like one of those looks that if somebody else had it on, I would probably be like, "What the heck?" You said it's different. That's the best way I could say. Now, I'm admitting if somebody else had this on, I probably would feel differently. But because it's Janet, it's giving, her style. It's giving her aura. Jada somewhere saying, does Jada not like Janet Jackson? Oh, you talking about because Tupac. Right, because Jada done. I don't know how she feel about Janet, but Tupac was her man, her best friend. Her best friend. Is Janet wearing a do-rag? I feel like, okay, Lotus Egyptian flower, unpopular opinion. I feel like that's probably my favorite part of the look. Yes, she got on a do-rag. Like, it's giving all this creative energy. Only thing I probably don't like is the net. I feel like the net was that one, like, too much. It just don't really fit the rest of the aesthetic. Yes, she has on a do-rag, and maybe it's the hood in me. I'm from Flint, not Baltimore. Ooh, I ain't gonna put it on Flint. I don't know. It's just, it's just how I was made up. I don't know. But the do-rag, it just does something, I'm gonna leave it at only Janet can do this. Because if, like I said, if somebody else had it on, I would probably be like, they look a fool. What's going on? We got Olandria, Marseille, and Coco Jones. I'm gonna start with Marseille. I feel like this girl is not missing. Every red carpet, she hits it on the nail so far every single time. I like the dress. I like the jewelry. I like her hair. She's maturing so beautifully. Like in my heart, she's still a little girl, but look how gorgeous. Amazing. The girls are into the sheer. The sheer is in, but her illusion is the way it's placed. This is how you design a dress. Where to go to Africa at? What you think about Marseille's dress? You said great for a dance performance. Who's we talking about? Oh, you talking about Janet Jackson? It's giving trying hard to be black. She's definitely out of touch. She's over there being friends with Oprah. Y'all are talking about yeah, Marseille looks amazing. This little girl, like every time she hits the red carpet, I'm gonna put her right there. You see Zendaya all the time, and it's because Zendaya is like 6'2", and you know what I'm saying, and long legs and so. But Marseille is a little bitty thing, and her stylist gets it right every time. The other two are Project Runway. Listen, I think Alondria is a beautiful woman. I don't care for this dress. It's a beautiful color. I think her makeup is a little bit heavy, but where is the dress? Can we get a little design? Like this don't look like you know what I'm saying? This just looks very much like Miami. I'm in Miami. That's what it's giving. And I love Alondria, but she's relying a lot on her body and not so much on the dress. You said Alondria looks stunning. I love the color. I love the color, but I just wish there was a little more dress. To me, it's just a little, lazy. Same thing with Coco. Coco is beautiful. I love the color on her. I like the bottom, but I wish the top didn't you just go stop at a bandeau? Even the way, now I will say all three of them, the way they work the sheer was beautiful. They did a great job with working the illusion, because a lot of times we're looking at straight panties and you know what I'm saying, and the illusion ain't really giving illusion. I think Coco is stunning. The color stunning, but the top lazy. Yeah, I think that color looked beautiful on both of them, but there's just not enough dress for me. And I love both of them, Alondria and Coco. And it isn't hard getting styling right for petite women. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like a lot of times the petite girls look at what they see on the runway, and it's not going to work the same when you're little. You know what I'm saying? You get overpowered in all that dress. And whoever, like I said, is styling her is doing an amazing job because she ain't missed yet. Zendaya is in a league on her own. Marcel looks nice here. I mean, I guess I feel like it's because she's tall. But when you talk about looks on a red carpet, I would say if you match them up, and I haven't done it, maybe I will. If you put them like side by side, the only reason why Zendaya is gonna be the standout is because she's tall, and that makes a big difference. If this lady Marseille, because she's a young lady now, if she was standing, like at size of Angel Reese, then she would definitely be rivaling Zendaya because her looks, like I said, they hit every time. You said at least they were designed to be flattering on their bodies. Yeah, they look good. They look good, but I'm talking about in terms of, I feel like because Alondria has that body, the focus is a lot on her body and not so much on the dress. So, but yeah, beautiful all the same. They both look better than what's her name? Well, Janet didn't come. I don't know what Janet came to do. Lizzo been in a conversation lately because she's over here whining about algorithms. She looks beautiful. She doesn't always get it. I think this time she definitely got it. I'm not mad at the blonde hair. Her makeup is flawless. Now, see how they gave her a little light tint on her eyebrows? Her eyebrows are light. They're not gone. You know what I mean? They just lighten them just a tad bit because she's wearing that blonde hair. This particular blonde is not yellow. She got a little root shadowing, so we're not looking at baby hair slathered all over her forehead. Lizzo looks amazing. She's a beautiful woman. Again, another illusion dress, but the illusion is doing what it's supposed to do. Why does everybody have to be naked? They're all that's the thing. The illusion is the thing. Ask Pastor Jamal, what is his wife out here with her coochie out and the people got mad? She started the year that way. Yeah, I think Lizzo looks good. She don't always get it right. I'm not mad at any of it. I wish she would relax and stop whining. Even like this dress has a little more design, rather than just, throw the fabric up there. Jamal will. You said not bad, a little bit better than some of the others. Listen, if To Go to Africa give you a not bad, that's a very good. You know what I'm saying? Because she's a hard critic. So, what's your name, Lizzo? Take that with a grain of salt. It is because if she said not bad, you really might be high up on the list of good. She's not an easy one to get a good out of. Jamal will be in the pulpit defending the naked look. I mean, he bought it. He paid for it. It's his. He wanted to put it on display. Not Jamal. Is Jamal coming? He might be here for all we know. I just didn't catch him on the red carpet. These are the last three, y'all. Keke Palmer, Lotto, and Queen Latifah. What is the weather like over here? Is it cold or not? Because Queen Latifah is covered from head to toe. For some reason, I'm not mad at it. I think Queen Latifah looks regal. She looks like the queen she is. I don't expect to see her titties popping out of anything. I feel like her coat looks heavy and light at the same time. So, It looks like, I mean, it's a lot of coat, but it doesn't look heavy necessarily. So, yeah, I like what Queen Latifah is doing. I look at Lotto. Now, this is where the illusion to me is just cheap. And now I'm just looking at her panties. So I don't like it, Lotto. It's giving Playboy Mansion. It's giving. Oh, she gonna be so sorry that she did this um to her body later on. I feel like later on she gonna be somewhere with the rest of these girls trying to figure out how to get whatever she stuck in her hips and things to settle or whatever it's doing. She just had her first baby. So if she has any more kids, every time she have a baby, the fix a flat gonna sag down to her kneecaps. Um yeah, it is giving lingerie, like for some type of special occasion, I suppose. That's a little like her illusion is not illusioning. I see everything. I see it all. I mean, I can even see, the tattoos on her hip. Negligee. It looks like a negligee. Um, yeah. I'm sorry, Lotto. It's enough for me. It's looking cheap. Um, there's no easy way to say this. Kiki Palmer is giving under the influence. It's giving she done lost a lot of weight due to, entertainment purposes. The back of the dress, I didn't catch a picture of the back, but the back is all the way down to her booty crack. It's all the way out. There is no back to this dress. But she a little bitty thing. So you said Lotto need she needs a therapist or a life coach. Well, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant is probably available. I don't know how she deals with women that would be considered just as pretty as she is. So, that's not a road we have gone down. I don't know what she needs, child. She's doing the same thing the rest of them doing. Rihanna, all of them, they all doing the same thing, child. I don't know. It's Big Mama. Kiki is a little simple, but it's fine. Good morning, Pack. Yeah, it's all right, I guess. I don't love it. I feel like it's of all the dresses that she tried on and she stopped there, it's not the most flattering to me. Kiki's dress. It's unremarkable. That's what I would call it. It's unremarkable. It's just, a dress. So yeah, that's the last one I have for today. Um, I will watch the Soul Train Awards and maybe we can talk about it later on this week. Like I said, I did enjoy T.I.'s performance and Kehlani looked beautiful, even though she just stood there but her voice sounded amazing. Tomorrow we're gonna talk about polygamists. So if y'all haven't watched it, tomorrow will be a spoiler alert because we're gonna talk about the polygamist that has had a lot of us in a chokehold. And yeah, so y'all enjoy the rest of your Monday. I will do the same. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. 2 times probably. Bye y'all.